Hello, good evening, sir.
Expand this.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Welcome to our FTP.
Thank you, ma'am. Am I visible, madam?
Sir, yeah, visible, sir, but your name, I think you have to rename. Madam's name it is.
Pardon, madam?
Sir, you have to rename, I think, sir. Your name is, Prasida madam's name is coming.
Oh. Then, how to do it?
Just go to the, in your image, there 3 dots will appear now, sir. In
Pardon?
that, you just click and rename.
Where is it? It's not there anywhere, madam. Rename is, one second.
Let me check.
It's not there on the screen, at least.
Ma'am, I'm renaming.
Okay, ma'am, you rename. Yes, sir. Now madam had renamed.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
How many have joined, madam?
Now only 22. We'll wait for another 5 minutes, sir. 7:05 sharp, we'll start.
Sure, madam. Sure.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
How many have joined?
Sir, 27 have joined, sir.
Okay, we can wait for 5 more minutes. Shall we wait? Or?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
Madam, shall we start?
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes, sir. Ma'am, Anita, ma'am, I think you can ask the comparing person to introduce.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, all. Now I welcome Mr. Akshay Prasad of EC department to carry on the session. Akshay.
Thank you. Don't practice till you get it right. Practice till you never get it wrong. A very good evening to one and all present here. I take immense pleasure in welcoming you all on behalf of the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering of SRMIST Vadapalani campus to the day 4 of Atal-sponsored faculty development program on Internet of Things in association with Nokia Solutions and Network Limited and IET Chennai Local Network. And I request our faculty coordinator, Dr. Anita Crystalline, to felicitate our speaker for the day, Dr. Kotul Shekhar, with an e-memento.
Welcome, sir.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Welcome, welcome, sir.
So, at the outset, let me greet all of you. And I must, let me start it formally or very conventionally. First of all, let me thank this SRM Institute of Science and Technology, Vadapalani campus, Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, for having graciously invited me or requested me to interact with you people. In fact, in the initial stage, I was afraid of, I had little apprehension because I am not from this field, this trainee, I'm in electronics, communication, engineering and all. In fact, I dread electronics or technology, whatever it is. But since Prasida convinced me or prevailed on me to present your yes. What is it?
Sir, one participant while joining, they didn't mute themselves. That's a background noise.
Vasugi ma'am, you had muted the speaker, I think. Yes.
Now, okay. Because the topic given to me seems to be very generic. Sometimes it also appears to be a little vague and obviously very broad, very broad. It's a huge topic that is given to me, and the task appears to be daunting, yet I will try my best to deliver during my this 1.5 hours interaction with you. Well, I am now asked to speak about values and ethos. What is a value? It's, I think there are people from all the disciplines. Anyone from social sciences? Any of the participants from social sciences? Sociology? Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is there any participant from sociology, philosophy, political science, history? Is there anyone amongst you? No. Hello? Hello?
Sir, all participants are basically from engineering background only, sir.
Engineering. So that makes my task easier because I can speak anything now. Huh? Okay. So what is a value? Value, every civilization, every culture in this world throughout the annals of history has a set of values on which it operates. These values are followed by the members of the particular society, group, community, or identity. So these values guide us in our day-to-day lives. For example, you say Indian values. What are Indian values? We know what is a value. We know what is a value. We know what Indian values are, what Indian values connote or denote. But still, when we are asked to define a value or offer an example of Indian values, I think we find it little uncomfortable, or it might not be that easy for us to mention immediately a particular value. For example, throughout Indian civilization, if you take it from Vedic, Vedas, they are the fountainhead of knowledge. They are the earliest written documents, and Rig Veda is the first written document as far as recorded world history goes. So when you take from Vedas and later part of Vedas, that is Upanishads, then other sacred literature, which we call sacred, it might not be sacred totally, and the historical documents of Buddhism, scriptures, then rock edicts, then inscriptions, which we find across the length and breadth of the subcontinent, we will find certain values or certain principles, certain aphorisms inscribed or engraved on these inscriptions or documented in these scriptures. For example, I will start with one shloka or one particular aphorism or a particular sentence which is considered to be the most precious. Ano Bhadra Kratavo Yantu Vishwato Dabdaso Aparitasa Udvida. This is Rig Veda, from Rig Veda. This sentence is called from Rig Veda. It stands as a sentinel for Indian public life. This says, Ano Bhadra Kratavo Yantu Vishwato means let knowledge come to us from all directions. That means the society which seeks knowledge from all directions, the society which welcomes knowledge or different streams of knowledge or ideas or inputs from all the directions, is supposed to be or can be deduced that it is a inclusive society. We welcome ideas, we welcome thoughts, we welcome innovative innovative thoughts. We are for inventions, we are for discoveries, we are for scientific temper, we are for a spirit of inquiry. So this essential value has got a lot to teach us, we Indians. So like that, if you start from this aphorism, the the greatest value which is enshrined in Indian life throughout history is pursuit of truth. Pursuit of truth. We are after our philosophers, our sages, our hermits, our forefathers. Our entire philosophical discourse is after pursuit of truth. Then there is something called moksha, which moksha is imagined, rather salvation is imagined. Buddhism is silent on salvation, but Hinduism, particularly Vedic Hinduism, always speaks about salvation, that is moksha, that is the ultimate truth of life. After that, you don't have anything to achieve, and that should be the ultimate goal. Then we have other values like spiritual quests, devotion, simplicity, simple living and high thinking, austerity, charity, universal brotherhood, altruism. Is it clear? Am I clear to you? Please, hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So what is simplicity? Simplicity, you know what is simplicity? Simple living and high thinking. You don't have to go for any kind of pomp. You don't have to go for any kind of fanfare and everything. Let us not be bombastic. Let us be simple, down to earth, unassuming. Isn't it? Unassuming. You know, in Western civilization, there is nothing called humility. Humility or being humble hardly matters there, because we cannot say they are arrogant, but this special attribute called humility is not to be found anywhere in the Western civilization or Western culture, because there everything is there is absolute equality prevails there. There a student can call a teacher by name, which here we are not supposed to do, because our ancient value system teaches us to do so. I had a government organization. I'll give you an example. One young chap came and joined my organization as a training associate. I was in Chandigarh at that time. He's a Punjabi. This boy worked in Dell. Dell, you know, I don't have to tell you, Dell. Dell Corporation, it's a multinational corporation. He came and joined. I'm his boss. I don't hesitate to use the word boss. No, don't use boss. You know, this is undemocratic. This is very patriarchal. This is hegemony. People say so many things, but the word boss exists. Especially in government, it should exist. Otherwise, we cannot work even for a single day. So the very second day, this boy addressed me as Dr. Shekhar, he addressed me. So immediately I called him. I said, you are not supposed to address me like this. But in Dell, I used to address even some managing director, some CMD, GMD, something like that by name. No, my boy, this is government of India. We have a different set of value system. And moreover, in Indian values, especially in your Punjabi families and all, Papa ko kya kehte hai? Hindi, all of you are, some of you know Hindi. You address your father as Aap. Aap means Ning in Tamil. Meer in Telugu, isn't it? You don't address your father as Ni, Appa. Some people might do. So my boy, this is not our value. In a government organization, you have to follow the ancient value system, Indian value system. No, sir, I'm not used to this. Then he cannot be used to you. We have to throw you out. You're a contract employee. I said. Then somehow it is bullying. I do admit, you may not like that, but in a government organization, we have our own value system. Though I'm a group A officer, I don't sit until the union secretary asks me to sit. Our union secretary sits in Delhi. We have to take appointment. For his appointment takes 2 days. Union secretary means next to the minister, isn't it? Next to the minister. We have to wait. Not that they ill-treat us. We have to wait until and unless he asks me to sit, I cannot sit. So this is a particular value system which is embedded in the government system, in the government structure hierarchy. In Dell company, okay, Dell or Microsoft or whatever it is, he may work in Nescafe, Britannia, but they say you can address me by my first name, but if he keeps on addressing me by his first name, he will be thrown out immediately. Even there, people call them sir. But this boy, in a misplaced, he had his own value system. He thought this is applicable, this can be applied to any context, any situation, or any individual. That's almost misconception. So in our Indian value system, humility is a very important value. Being humble. One can be a hero, one can be a fighter, one can be a trade unionist, one can be an advocate of rights, one can be a champion of all sorts of anti-establishment pursuits or endeavors. But at the same time, when we deal with individuals at micro level, or when we deal with our teachers, when we deal with our parents, kin group, elders, one has to be humble. The body language has to be humble. It doesn't have to be too subservient. But, well, so this is a very important value of Indian culture or Indian civilization, that is humility. Then we have austerity. Austerity means again simple living. Though we are becoming more and more consumerist because of globalization, because of free flow of goods, because of expansion of manufacturing sector, because of mass media or advertisements, bombardment of advertisements through social media. Definitely we are becoming more and more consumerist, but yet Indian value system always eggs on us to be austere and simple. Charity is there. Atithi Devo Bhava, we say Atithi Devo Bhava means, have you heard about this Sanskrit for Atithi Devo Bhava means? Tamil, what is it in Tamil? Guest is our God. Okay, guest is our God. No, we may not like continuously guests coming to our house. That's a different matter. But in principle, theoretically speaking, Atithi Devo Bhava. Atithi means he is God. We must treat him like a God. At least we must treat him like a fellow human being. So these are the principles enshrined, or these are the values enshrined in Indian culture, which we have been following through ages. And the same value system has to be applied, or the same value system has to be followed in all contexts, in all situations, and in all settings. And these settings include classroom setting also. Well, let me now come directly to youth, young people, because I have been in this particular field, youth development or training of young people, for the last, say, 27 years. So 27 years of my life, they are spent in this, dealing with young people. I have interacted with young people across the country. Now I'm in Northeastern region. I'm now heading a center which has to take care of the training needs of the entire Northeastern region. So I have seen, I have interacted with young people, starting from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. And to start with, for example, Tamil Nadu. More or less, young people across the country, they behave in the same manner. Their value system is more or less same. They are consumerist, present day young people. They are career conscious. They are goal directed. They are very careful. They are very cautious. They are very pragmatic. Yet, let me point out some differences. Once you're all from engineering background, engineering and management. Once I went to address an medical college in Andhra Pradesh, near Visakhapatnam, in Vijayanagaram. So there I was speaking about young people, their role in the movements, how young people choose protest and music, how young people choose song and music as a form of protest and all. So by the time I closed my lecture, by the time I stopped, I concluded my lecture. At the time, internet was penetrating. That was in the first decade of the millennium, penetrating. I was really surprised. Two girls, they got up and they started posing questions. I thought these girls must be well read. These girls must be well read. Otherwise, they would not have posed questions about youth culture, youth subcultures and all. But then I came to know they were browsing. They were browsing, discussing amongst themselves, and they were churning out questions. Two young girls, medicos. The same was the case when I was addressing students of a very famous engineering college. They were also very, very sharp. They were receptive. They were catching up they were posing very critical questions. Whatever I used to say, they were posing critical questions on that. But the same is not the case with social science students. The same is certainly not the case with MA political science or MA history students, obviously. So this is the difference between backgrounds, social background, educational background, maybe a particular set of students who have particular capabilities, they go into engineering, management, medicine, and students with a different kind of a set of capabilities, they come to art stream in South India, in Tamil Nadu and Andhra. But the more the up and up you go to Delhi and all, you find brilliant students in art stream. Brilliant, you can never imagine. Unlike in Tamil Nadu, Andhra or Karnataka, there, there are some colleges that they are the best in India, even now, since 100 years. The kind of questions they pose, even the most accomplished philosopher or social scientist cannot answer. So this, and students, we are a diverse society. In a single classroom, you find students from all backgrounds, rich, poor, all castes. You can deny caste, sir, caste no, caste is there, very much there. Caste is here in our this chamber, caste is there. Caste is very much a part of Indian society. And as of now, as a student of social sciences, for another 100 years, I don't see any escape from caste. And maybe educational institutions like yours may be free from some considerations, but once you enter into universities and traditional government colleges or government sector, government system, yeah, caste very much matters. So we have students from different castes, different ethnic backgrounds, One day in RG Navedi in Sri Perumbudur, my institute, I was teaching, suddenly a girl got up. When we were discussing regarding the tribal museum in Ooty, she got up and said, sir, there is a defect in that museum. How do you know? You are from Karnataka. She said, I am a Kodava. How is it related? She told me how it is related. So I never expected this girl to belong to a particular ethnic group, which is located in Tamil Nadu near Coimbatore, but she hails from Bangalore. They said there is then only I came to know that there is a relation between Kannadiga, these groups from Badaga, then here the tribes in the Kodava tribes. So this is how we must probe into, we cannot directly ask anyone about his background, but we must always try to know the background of the student, background of the learner, so that it becomes easy for us to negotiate or to interact with the students in the classroom. So classroom environment requires a sound knowledge of value system, the diverse composition of the students in your particular class, their capabilities, you have to assess their capabilities, then automatically other things follow. Well, I am now presenting some stray thoughts because since the topic is too vague, ethos and values and classroom behavior and conduct, it's very difficult to match these four concepts. Now, coming back to values. Values don't have to necessarily commensurate with social structure and life. Okay? Value is a value. How you behave, how people behave with others, how people conduct with themselves, these are totally a different kettle. Okay? Suppose you say something in while addressing your students, you will say, let us adopt the principle of high thinking and simple living. So the student is not supposed to say, no, but there it is not happening. Here it is not happening. My friend purchased a bullet for 1,80,000 worth. No, value is a value. Value has to be respected. Value has to be cherished. Value has to be taken as a guiding principle. And someone may say, what you are saying, absolute equality, you are saying austerity, you are saying respect for others, but here there is discrimination. Yes, there is discrimination. Our society, discrimination is embedded in our society. But value hasn't gone wrong. It is people, it is the members of the society who are not following the value properly, isn't it? So value, a particular value or a set of values doesn't have to necessarily commensurate with social structure or our day-to-day lives. Well, for example, knowledge acquisition is a value, isn't it? Knowledge acquisition is a value. All of you are from science background. You must have heard about SS Bhatnagar. SS Bhatnagar. There is a Bhatnagar Award for excellence in science and technology. This SS Bhatnagar is a renowned scientist. He was a faculty member of Banaras Hindu University. He was a faculty member of Banaras Hindu University. I'm not sure of his discipline, either physics or chemistry. He has done tremendous work. He is responsible for setting up CSIR labs. You know CSIR labs? Anyone? Council for Scientific and Industrial Research Labs. He is responsible, this man. A stunning aspect of SS Bhatnagar, Professor SS Bhatnagar, is he was also a Sanskrit poet, and he penned a wonderful song of Banaras Hindu University. You know, Banaras Hindu University is very famous, very old university. It is known for science education. So he had written this Banaras Hindu University song in Sanskrit, in just Sanskrit. So he is a scientist. Normally, we don't expect a physicist or a chemist to know about Sanskrit or to write in Sanskrit. So this is called knowledge acquisition. Knowledge has no limits, and knowledge nor should have any limitations. Knowledge is ocean. Knowledge is it is borderless. It is you can't constrict knowledge. So a teacher must be knowledgeable first. Then there is a question. We had a teacher in Andhra University. I studied in Andhra University, Visakhapatnam. He is a geophysicist. He is a retired professor. He's also a poet. He used to relate poetry to earth sciences. He used to, when speaking about groundwater, he used to speak about Shiva, Ganga, and Parvati to make the class more interesting, to make the class more exciting. So this is a technique. So the more knowledge you have, the more ideas you have, the more exciting your class would be. Especially in social sciences, knowledge in all fields becomes all the more important. In science, engineering and all, you can confine to your subject. But in arts or say social sciences or humanities, it is endless. You can take the student, if you are knowledgeable enough, if you have command over language, you can take the student to a dreamy universe. So that is a very important criterion for a teacher is it's a value. It's a value. Acquisition of knowledge is a value. It is part of our ethos. It is part of our ethos. That's why I started with this Anobhadra Krutavo Yantu Viswato Dabdadaso Api Aparivasa Udbida. That's why I started with sentence that let knowledge come to us from all directions. Let there be no hindrance, let there be no impediment. And that should be our motto, the motto of teachers. And also then we can inculcate the same spirit among the students also. Well, there is another value which we have to be aware of. That is, there is one book called Pedagogy of the Oppressed, written by a Brazilian educator, Paulo Freire, in 1960s. The first publication came out in 1967. He is a Brazilian educator, Paulo Freire. Paulo Freire. You can browse. You can get a lot of him. The title of the book is Pedagogy. You know what is pedagogy? Can anyone please define pedagogy? Excuse me. Pedagogy. Pedagogy. It's a method of delivery of education. Pedagogy. Pedagogical method. It is bidirectional. It is both ways. This model which he developed, Paulo Freire says that normally students are treated as banks. It is the upper chamber of the student or the learner is an empty vessel in which we have to fill the knowledge. But Paulo Freire's theory says, let us treat the students as co-creators of knowledge. Let us treat the students as co-creators of knowledge. That means let us give them space. Let us assign them the role of contributing to knowledge building, whether it is in classroom or lab. If in your case it is lab, or in the field. But in your subject, for example, engineering, science and technology, it is not so easy, because engineering, science and technology, it is not just like that anyone can say anything and it becomes an idea. No, it doesn't happen like that. There is a methodology. It should be based on experimentation, and ultimately it should be based on lab results, isn't it? But in social sciences, students can contribute, and sometimes they contribute crazy ideas also. That is different. Well, democracy is a value. Ethos also. Democracy. What is democracy? Democracy means freedom. Democracy means liberty. Democracy means free inquiry. Democracy means granting liberty to question, granting liberty for probing into a particular phenomenon. So democracy means it includes a lot of things, democracy. So a teacher has to be democratic in the classroom. A teacher has to establish herself. First of all, a teacher has to establish herself as a scholar, or the teacher should establish herself or himself as a person with scholastic abilities, as a person who can deliver. That means the teacher, she or he, should create confidence in the students about her or his capabilities. Mostly it happens, of course, in social sciences and humanities. This is very much necessary. But I think in engineering and science, you have a format, isn't it? You have an established format. You have a very accepted format according to which you can go. Because in chemistry, while teaching about nitrogen, you cannot refer to history or Babur or Chandragupta Maurya, isn't it? Am I clear? Am I right? Hello? Am I right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. You can't refer to film studies. You can't refer to cultural studies and all. Nitrogen means nitrogen, isn't it? But I am speaking from a social science perspective. Like in social sciences and all, you can speak anything. You can start with Shivaji Ganeshan, you can end up with Kashmir problem, and then again you can start with Gujarat model of development and end up in Arunachal Pradesh, where I am now living in. And you can mention about Kudiyattam, you can mention about Kuchipudi, you can mention about Punjabi dish. All these things in social sciences, the more articulate the teacher, the more knowledgeable the teacher, the luckier the students. The luckier the students. But in engineering and science, you have to be more focused, and you can't go beyond a point. You cannot pour in a PhD knowledge to a first year BTech student, isn't it? Isn't it? You cannot simply go on speaking about electromagnetism of the highest level, or you cannot bring about all the things which you learned from Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, or John Hopkins Institute, and simply stuff it nail it down in the heads of the students of BTech first year. Is it right? Am I right? Isn't it? But in social sciences and humanities, anything can be made interesting, provided the teacher has command over language, the teacher's body language is attractive, the teacher's animated expressions or feelings are very catchy. Then the student, it is like watching Bahubali. Okay, it's like watching Bahubali 3 or whatever 4 you can say, or RRR. See, RRR, for example, the same theme, masala, Rajamouli, Shankar and Rajamouli, if you look at Shankar's movies, high budget movies or Rajamouli movies, theme is same, actors are same, but the masala, the spice, new kinds of spice, they simply stuff in, and they make the format very attractive. The end product is very attractive, highly attractive, isn't it? So that is possible in social science education or humanities. Well, our value, we have another value called universal brotherhood. Universal brotherhood. In Sanskrit, it is called Bhatrus. You have, you believe that we are all brothers and sisters, isn't it? We believe in a single fraternity, a universal fraternity, we believe. So this value also has to be taught to the students. The students have to be made aware. I think in engineering, you have a course on Indian civilization and heritage, no? Or you have a paper in humanities, I think, in engineering. Hello, am I right? You have a paper on humanities and social sciences, no, in engineering.
Value education we have, sir.
Value education, yeah. In
Value
value education, you can definitely you can teach these things. Values. What are our ethos? What is our value system? Indian values. Well, for example, socialization. It's a very important process through all of us have gone through. Socialization. Socialization means right from childhood to adulthood, you will be exposed to a particular process, different kinds of experiences. Our socialization starts at home, under the warm care of parents and elders. They train us. The first training we get is from mother, then father, then elders, elder brothers, then kin group. If you have grandfathers and uncles and aunts staying with you, from them. Then it is school. Then it is peer group. Peer group means friends. Then it is religion also trains us. Religion also exposes us to different kind of experience. Participating in particular prayer, whether it is Hindu religion or it is Islam or Christianity, definitely religion has a role to play in our socialization. Of course, gradually the role of religion is decreasing, is on decline. And if you see any Western country, perhaps most of you must have visited one or other Western country, the churches are empty, or the attendance at church is very low, very low. So after that, socialization, politics, society, participation in politics, participation in civic life, or participation in social life, public life, that also plays an important role in an individual's socialization. So this socialization is a process which molds us, which gives us a personality. Personality means not that outward, this thing, external personality, but inner character, which you call inner character. And this personality of the student youth have to be nurtured properly. This personality of the student youth have to be enhanced, have to be cultivated, in the right manner. So then here, this is where the teacher can influence the students. Then tolerance. Tolerance is very much a very integral value of Indian civilization. We have been tolerant, we are tolerant, and we will continue to be tolerant. Our spirit of tolerance may be under attack, because of change of circumstances. Indians' signs of intolerance might be seen here and there, but by and large, Indians are tolerant. Indian civilization has tolerance as one of its cornerstones, obviously. And here, I don't have to mince words. This tolerance has come from our ancient culture. You can call Vedas or Upanishads or Aranyakas, and most importantly, Buddhism. Dear friends, do you know Buddhism is the first organized or missionary religion in this world? It is the first organized or missionary religion in the world. It has a body of knowledge. It had a particular literature, sacred literature like Tripitakas, guiding literature. It has a guiding literature. Buddhism had Sangha system. Sangha means seminary. Buddhism it devised a system to train the young people in particular activities, in particular endeavors. Buddhism also promoted art. Buddhism promoted image worship. Buddhism promoted sculpture. Buddhism promoted chemistry, metallurgy, so many other things, which were there even before Buddhism. But it was Buddhism which brought all the merits of ancient Indian civilization to the fore. And Buddhism is the greatest teaching religion, the greatest teaching religion. It teaches, it preaches, and it never says Buddha is the only God. No, it never says, but it preaches certain value system. You can call it eightfold path, or truth. Buddhism says truth, ahimsa, non-violence, salvation, finally salvation. And Buddhism is silent on the existence of God. It is neither atheistic nor theistic. It is agnostic. So we have to know, we have to probe into Buddhism, Buddhist literature, Buddhist history. Then we can get a firm grasp of Indian value system. So the students, when we look at students, again, I am distinguishing between students of engineering, science, technology streams, and arts, humanities streams. Well, I have to frankly tell you, a student who qualifies to get a seat in a good engineering college, reasonably, need not be IITs and NITs, in a good engineering college in Chennai or on the outskirts of Chennai, certainly her or his IQ levels will be, I'm sorry to say, I should not have mentioned this, but I have to be, as an objective observer, as a person who has spent long years in youth development, I have to say this, her or his IQ will be certainly a trifle superior or more than the IQ levels of a student who studies in Pachappa College or Presidency College or even MCC and Loyola. Okay, though I am from social science background, I must go for a candid admission of this. Okay, so these different sets of students with different sets of capabilities we have to. And even among engineering students, you may find some students exceedingly bright. They are very quick on the uptake. They simply grasp whatever you say. And some students may not be that intelligent. Maybe after taking up a job after entering into industry, they may become brilliant. That is different. Because even Moksha Visvesvaraya, when he was the greatest civil engineer India has ever produced, I think it is Engineers Day today. Am I sure? Am I right? Engineers Day?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Engineers Day. It's a happy coincidence that I'm addressing so many teachers from of engineering subjects. Is there anyone from civil engineering here? Civil engineering or architecture? No.
No, sir.
All of you electronics, computers only. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Today is Engineers Day, the birth anniversary of I think 160th or 170th, something like that. Moksha Gundam. He was not a brilliant engineer student. But once he entered into this field, once he started building, his brilliance got enhanced. Experience makes a man perfect, makes a person perfect. Okay. So social skills are very important for any student, whether he or she is brilliant, whether he or she is dull, whether he or she is studying English literature or engineering or marine engineering or computer engineering, electronics, social skills are very important to negotiate the challenges which students face in their future lives. What are social skills? Self-awareness. Social skills are the same as life skills. Communication, yes, communication plays a very important role, isn't it? In any company, you see, they demand they want communicators. More than anything else, they want communicators, isn't it? They want people to be very articulate, very trendy, very stylish, with an attractive body language, reflexes, isn't it? And with a smiling face, isn't it? These things come under life skills. Social awareness, self-awareness is very important. One has to be aware of her or his abilities, capabilities. And dear friends, I'm telling you another thing. As teachers, kindly, as teachers, at least I'm elder to you in age, if not knowledge and all. And I have dealt with more young people, thousands of young people. Kindly don't say, sky is the limit. You go, you can achieve anything in life. Don't hesitate. Don't feel shy. Such empty rhetoric is not going to work. At least at the stage of +2 and all, this is going to be very dangerous. This is the reason why hundreds of students in Kota, you know Kota, Rajasthan? Kota, which is famous for IIT training. Have you heard about Kota?
Yes, sir.
A place in Rajasthan. Hundreds of students, you know, misguided students, those who cannot get a seat, even in some remote engineering college, they, because of the parental pressure, peer group pressure, and this empty rhetoric, you know, Parvailla, you can do anything. You go, you try, you will become Tendulkar. Can I become a Tendulkar at this age? Tell me, please. Can a boy who represents your SRM Institute of Technology in cricket, can he become Virat Kohli? No, certainly not. Even if he tries, one has to become Virat Kohli means one has to show promise at the age of 8 or 9. One has to show promise at the age of 8 or 9, isn't it? Suppose a boy plays chess well, a 22-year-old boy in your college. He wins an intercollegiate tournament. He beats people from other Rajalakshmi Engineering College, Panimalar Engineering College, King's Engineering College. Because I often see this engineering college when I go to Sri Perumbudur, or some St. William, some engineering college. You cannot say you are going to become Vishwanathan Anand, you leave your studies. Chhod do, padhai chhod do means viduvanga studies. You go, you become Vishwanathan Anand. No, you are misguiding him. You are misguiding him. You appreciate him. You tell him, okay, from here the next level. Okay, that's it. That's it. Don't invest more time and energy in your in this chess, isn't it? See, only out of this sports is such a field. Out of 1 lakh people, only 10 excel. If 1 lakh people play cricket at a higher level, at even intercollegiate, inter-university, zonal and Ranji Trophy level put together, only 1 or 2 is picked up from Tamil Nadu to play cricket. Ashwin, spinner. Like that, chess, Vishwanathan Anand. Now there is another boy who became a grandmaster, very simple, very humble family, recently one boy. It is, they are gifted. And I believe in, I personally have seen some individuals are born with some capabilities, isn't it? Some individuals are born with some capabilities, isn't it? Rajinikanth cannot dance like Prabhudeva. Can Rajinikanth dance like Prabhudeva? Tell me, despite being a great actor, isn't it? No. Some individual, Prabhudeva is born, that fellow, because either because of training or what, he is a boneless dancer, isn't it? Boneless dancer. And many Telugu guys, you know, after seeing Chiranjeevi dancing, you know, they joined dance schools. They wanted to make it big in films, and none of them ended up as a junior artist or an extra. So this depends on capabilities. Number one is inborn capabilities. Some individuals have a particular set of skills. One can excel in singing, but the same person may not excel in studies, isn't it? Studies. Among your engineering students also, some engineering students write brilliant poetry. That means this particular girl or boy has a different set of skills, isn't it? You can encourage them. Okay, you write poetry, we can put it in the notice board, or we can display it, we can send it to some magazine. And so instead of saying, especially this club culture, you know, these Rotary Club fellows, Lions Club fellows, they will come and they will inject all sorts of ambitions in the young people. No, don't stop here. Nothing is going to stop you. Come on, go ahead, you jump into the well, you can swim. Is it possible? After 30 years, it is very difficult to become a good swimmer. One can become swimmer. One can swim. Very difficult to become a swimmer, isn't it? So let us not mislead our young people by showing them a colorful world, which many of them cannot reach, isn't it? Many of them cannot reach. So Sundar Pichai is okay. Let us try to imitate Sundar Pichai, isn't it? But imitating Sundar Pichai should not lead to frustration, isn't it? Should not lead to frustration. And recently I heard about a particular incident. I'm likely to be misunderstood by all of you. One boy, he said he wanted to study in Oxford University. All the people, they donated money, you go and study in Oxford University. Is this the right process? Tell me. Because in Oxford and Harvard, anyone can get a seat. To get a seat in IIT Madras is much more difficult than to get a seat in Harvard, or because you pay money, you will get a seat, isn't it? Paid seat. One simple boy, he said, I wanted to study in Oxford University. Oh my God, these all our liberal people, they donated money, they pooled up money, they sent him to Oxford. First of all, they must inquire, what do you want to study in Oxford? Why do you want to study in Oxford? And he's a simple boy. He is not promising. First, you get a seat in Madras School of Social Work, Egmore, or SRM University, Ramapuram. Then we will see, we can sponsor your studies. No. Our people misplaced liberal attitude. Oh, all of them, they parceled him to Oxford. Now, nobody knows what he is doing there. Whether he is capable of joining Oxford University, whether he is capable of negotiating the challenges which he will face in London society, English society. What is this? Tomorrow, my daughter will say, I will act in a movie. You give 1 crore to a producer. I will act in a movie, or 5 crores you invest. Even if I'm rich, I'm not going to give a single pie. This is not the way of encouraging young people. No. A young person, a young student who has come to study must study first, must acquire knowledge, must build her or his character, must build her or his personality, must enhance her or his social perception. Then stage by stage, stage by stage, stage by stage, isn't it? Straight away encouraging students to go, nothing can stop you. Especially in North India, I see this rhetoric. When I say this, our people say, why are you discouraging young people? I'm not discouraging. I'm telling them the truth. I'm bringing the facts to their notice. This is not the way. You first study. That is one thing. Again, I'm differentiating between these streams. Normally what happens, these public speakers, those who come and speak, they speak on public forums and all. They say, there's a peculiar trend which is now very popular, very prevalent. Go and see the world. Go and see the world. There is nothing in the books. This is a misconception, my dear friends. This is misconception. Everything is there in books. You read Tirukural with a very cool mind. You read Tirukural. Tirukural, I don't know. The whole world is there in Tirukural. Isn't it? Tiruvalluvar wrote Tirukural by sitting at a place. He sat at a place somewhere near Chennai, near Chennai. I hope so. Northern Tamil Nadu, isn't it? He wrote, he composed those verses. Later editions, okay, some people might have. Karl Marx, have you heard about Karl Marx? Karl Marx. He spent 20 years in his room, suffering poverty, experiencing very gnawing poverty. He spent all the savings of his wife. His wife was from a very elitist family. Through his writings, he changed the world. He did not go and mingle with, he did not go anywhere. He did not go to an IMAX theater, or nor did he spend on Mount Road or Hyderabad or Delhi. No, he sat in his room. He frequented London Library. He almost, you can say, he churned out. He almost digested the entire literature available, and he came out with such documents. He came out with such brilliant work. Whether it is controversial, acceptable, whether you don't accept it, his work has changed the world. Whether for good or bad, his work has changed the world. So, knowledge acquisition has no substitute. Knowledge acquisition, this field work, okay. In engineering and all, field work is a must. They have to be taken to the field. They have to be shown how great structures are built, or great networks are forged. Great networks are forged. That's communication networks are forged. Then how this IT is working, how this IT has changed our lives, definitely. But that is also called knowledge acquisition. Knowledge acquisition. And yes, anything. Hello? 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 Can I continue?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
you
sir.
can
Yes,
continue.
sir.
Then Knowing your worth is an important social skill. Goal setting, every student, even teachers must have set a goal before them. Goal setting is very, very important. This is where the limitations, the special capabilities, the skills, the merits of student youth come to the fore. Goal setting, yes, definitely goal setting. For example, if a student says, I want to appear for an IAS exam, yes, no problem in it. Anyone can appear for an IAS exam, civil services, and mostly engineering students and medicine students, they qualify. They are also the rankers. Yes, you can always encourage them. Suddenly a student gets up and says, I want to give up my studies and I want to become a singer. There is a problem now. You have to deal with this problem effectively. Another fellow gets up and says, I want to get a Nobel Prize. It's an unrealistic goal. No Nobel laureate till now consciously worked for a Nobel Prize. You know that? The discoveries which got Nobel Prizes to individuals so far since its introduction, accidentally they stumbled on it. One can aspire to become an excellent researcher, she or he, nothing stops them. There are any number of fellowships in the world, starting from CSIR, GATE, GMAT, GRE and all. One should accidentally stumble on a discovery that will fetch them Nobel Prize, isn't it? But one cannot, a student of BTech cannot say, I want to get a Nobel Prize, right? You can say, yes, you will get a Nobel Prize. It is possible to get a Nobel Prize. First of all, you must enroll in a very high level research program, isn't it? Now, one of our here in this university, Rajiv Gandhi University, Arunachal Pradesh, one assistant professor in zoology. He spent almost in all, he is biotechnology and zoology. He spent in almost many years as a postdoctoral fellow in France, America and England. He has vast experience. He came here to join as assistant professor. He is saying, even in biotechnology and zoology, the instruments which Indian Institute of Science Bangalore has instruments, with due respect to IASC, that is the best institute for science research in India, it claims at least. Even a mediocre institute in America, a research institute, private funded research institute, has better instruments, better tools than what we have in IASC. So that is our level of research here. As far as I know, science research, I don't know much about engineering. That is our level of research here. So when our students say, yeah, I want to become a researcher, yeah, then advise them to enroll in a higher level research program, not simply joining a PhD in a traditional university like Venkateswara University, Tirupati, or Mysore University, Mysore, or with due respect to the greatness of these universities. Because I am also, I have done research on the educational technology and knowledge delivery, how it goes in different Indian universities. At least I associated myself with world-class researchers, though I haven't done that research by myself. So I know how state universities work, how state universities operate. Then the student must be given an opportunity for self-soothing. Self-soothing. What is this soothing? SOOTHING, self-soothing. Soothing. By hearing old MS Soundararajan songs, we get a soothing feeling. Or Susilamma song, we get a soothing feeling. What is soothing? So when you are stressed, when you are not in the right mood, when you hear music of Balamurali Krishna or SPB songs, not recent songs of 70s songs, or MS Vishwanathan's tunes or Ilayaraja's tune, you will get a soothing feeling. It's a soft feeling which entertains you, which enthralls you, which brings you from a bad mood to good mood, isn't it? That is called soothing. So you must give space for the students for self-soothing. When they are stressed, It is the responsibility of the teacher to find out who are the students who are stressed. Let them try some kind of a stress buster. Let them engage in some kind of extracurricular activity. There, the song, dance, music, whatever it is. So self-soothing. And counseling plays a very important role. Counseling. Sometimes, students, you find students who are not able to clear 6 to 7 papers every year. Am I right? Am I right? You have students, am I right? Every year you will find students who are left behind. Am I right? Hello, am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, every year you may find some students lagging behind, left behind, with so many back papers, isn't it? So backlog papers. This is where this counseling and self-soothing play a very important role. Then emotional intelligence is very important. Emotional intelligence quotient is one thing. Then emotional intelligence. The students must be emotionally sound. They must be able to negotiate the challenges or stress that arises from studies. Isn't it? Then they must be driven to, or they must be trained in self-motivation. You must teach them how to motivate themselves. They must be intelligent enough, they must be clever enough to motivate themselves. That responsibility lies on the teachers. Exclusively it lies on the teachers. Of course, parents also play an important role. And the teacher must always observe peer group influence on the students. This peer group influence is, research reveals peer group influence, influence of friends, mostly it ends up in negative consequences, not positive consequences. Positive, a student doesn't have to tell his or her friend to study well, isn't it? A BTech first year chemical engineering student doesn't have to tell his or her friend, or she or he doesn't have to tell his or her friend to study well, isn't it? To respect the teachers, to respect parents and all. These are general values which have. But negative influence certainly peer group has on young people, definitely peer. So this has to be taken care of. Teachers must be very vigilant about this particular aspect of student life, peer group influence. In Tamil Nadu, you may not have this problem, but back in Punjab, I have seen in Chandigarh and all, peer group influence plays a very important role in substance abuse or drug addiction. Try once, nothing will happen. Even girls, young girls, are victims to this drug addiction in Punjab. Young girls in Chandigarh and all. So very dangerous. It's a very dangerous phenomenon. The government is trying its best. Everywhere, in all the metro cities, maybe in Madras could be free because Madras has a conservative atmosphere. Madras could be relatively free from this menace. But Bangalore, Hyderabad, Thiruvananthapuram, Bombay, you name. Of course, Bhubaneswar, Patna, Bihar, Uttar Pradesh are again conservative. Calcutta. Everywhere you find this. See, this is what you have to see. You have to distinguish students from. In JNU, Jawaharlal Nehru University, if you go and see, especially our Tamil sisters, you will be in for a shock. Because every 10th girl will be smoking there. Sitting there, smoking, discussing, Karl Marx to Kalidas, everywhere, Gramsci to Wittgenstein, they will be. It's a culture shock, not only for me also. It's a culture shock. You go to Jadavpur University, Kolkata, the same atmosphere you will find. It's a culture shock for us. For Telugus or Tamils, it's a culture shock, isn't it? So different varieties of settings you will find when you examine young people, their aspirations, their behavioral patterns, their habits, their their perception. You find different sets of young people. India is a mosaic. You come here to Arunachal Pradesh or Manipur, every girl or boy is well dressed, immaculately well dressed, and girls are well dressed means not again in that very trendy fashions and well dressed, fully dressed, but all in trousers and bunions, t-shirts or full sleeves and all. Very well dressed here. I have never seen such well dressed girls anywhere, even in Delhi or Kolkata, Arunachal Pradesh, such a remote corner here. The same state has the problem of suicides, highest number of suicides among some tribes. suicides, because of the customs, because of the traditions. They all lead to suicides also, frustration and all. Drug abuse is very high in Arunachal Pradesh, substance abuse. And you know, dear friends, here student union election in this small place, Doimuk, this Rajiv Gandhi University is located. Doimuk must be 1/4 of T Nagar, must be 1/4 of T Nagar. Here in this university, a student leader spends 1 crore rupees to win a student union election. Can you believe? Can you believe 1 crore? It is document, they agree. They say, sir, last year it was more, sir. This year we could easily. Because here student politics are intertwined with state politics. Students can bring the administration to a halt. Students can even drag out the chief minister here in Arunachal Pradesh. Here the situation is totally different. Totally different. In Tamil Nadu, student union elections are banned. Since the time of M.G. Ramchandran, student union elections are banned, isn't it? In Kerala, there are student union elections happen, but it is a matter of thousands only. It's a matter of thousands. Maharashtra or Uttar Pradesh or some, even now biryani and all are in picture. Biryani, some liquor and all. But in Arunachal Pradesh, it is lakhs and crores. Lakhs and crores. So this is a different states. This is a different world. This is a different world altogether. So, my dear friends, you have to keep this particular diversity at a higher level, diversity at a regional level, micro level in your classroom. And you know, nowadays electronic gadgets are very common. Cell phones, cell phones means young people have a cell phone in their palm, 1 lakh, 1.5 lakhs, isn't it? Very easy. That is called consumerism. We can't help it. If their parents are rich, they will get their kids any number of electronic gadgets. But again, our duty is to discourage consumerism. We have to discourage consumerism. Let us wait and see whether it will have any impact, whether it is going to have a positive impact or not. But as teachers, we have to discourage discouraging consumerism is not simply asking them not to have a cell phone. No, this is not the right way. You can manage with a 30,000 cell phone like that as a piece of advice. One thing. Then self-discourse, self-motivation, self-determined. One should be self-determined. One should not be crestfallen. One should be self-determined. And know your core values. What are your core values? What should be the core value of a student? Respect to elders, respect for knowledge acquisition, respect for society, respect for public, and respect for Constitution of India, respect for law enforcing authorities, isn't it? That a student must have, because again I am telling you, by virtue of being located in Chennai, Tamil Nadu, you don't find so much of a problem with young people. There may be some problems. No, when compared to other places in India, you won't find so much of a problem with especially young people in Chennai. I don't know about other cities. In Chennai, again, you live about people living in fringe areas or outskirts of the city or from underprivileged backgrounds. Yeah, their perception is different. They are all excluded groups. These young people belong to excluded groups and they are subject to different kinds of discrimination. So definitely, as a protest, as a reaction to this particular discrimination, definitely some sorts of undesirable behavioral patterns may set in. Now, with the permission of the House, can I stop here because we have a questionnaire to you. We have a questionnaire which has to be administered to you. Then, because these questions are related to Indian values, educational system and ethos. Is it okay if the
yes,
question? So
yes,
can I
sir.
stop here?
Yes.
Can I stop here? Probably I'm simply going on lecturing. I haven't given you any space. Okay. I don't know whether it is interesting or not. And unfortunately, my wife is there. None of you will say, sir's lecture was not good. You won't say, I know. So objective assessment, I think it is very difficult to get, isn't it? But be very objective in your assessment. Please be very objective. And I value your opinion. So I will stop here. I will stop here. You can fill the questionnaire. We will give you some 15 minutes, whatever the time, and we will get back. Okay.
Participants, I am posting the questionnaire in the chat window.
Yeah.
Sir, how much time shall we allocate, sir?
I don't know. You asked Bharati.
We were told 30 minutes, half an hour. Is
No,
it so?
half an hour. Okay. 30 questions. You will take half an hour. It is exactly 8:16.
Yes.
By 8:36. 20 minutes. Take
20 minutes. Okay.
20 minutes. 8:36 we'll get back. By 9 we will conclude the session. Okay.
Okay.
Is it okay? Okay. I'll switch off. I will stop the video for
Okay.
some time. Okay.
Okay.
Participants, kindly fill the form which is put up in the chat box. It is a questionnaire. It's not the feedback attendance form. Attendance form will be posted later. This is for your understanding. The speaker wants to get to know your understanding. Kindly fill. 20 minutes will be given for filling this questionnaire. We will again start the session at 8:40. 8:36, so 8:40 we will start the session.
Yes, sir. We provided up to 8:40.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I'm waiting.
Okay, sir.
So exactly 8:40 we will get meeting.
We'll resume back. Okay, sir.
participants.
Okay, so we have to fill it.
Yes, sir. That's what we have given time till now.
Multiple choice. It's multiple choice.
Past 15 minutes we have given time. Please fill it, sir.
Yeah. The time given is, I mean, 8:40. It's
Yes, sir.
Can we start? No, this questionnaire is very, I mean, it's a very simple affair.
Okay, sir.
Okay, I'll start again. These questions are, mostly they relate to history, philosophy, development, culture, polity, and nationalist movement. It has, these questions have little or no relevance to the subjects which you teach, but this is what we are supposed to do. So I think I don't have to discuss, because the first question which I say, Vasudhaiva Kutumbam, means this entire universe is like a family. Vasudhaiva Kutumbam, a Sanskrit phrase that is from Maha Upanishad. We have it's taken from Upanishads. After that, should I give you the right answers and all? No, I don't think so. I don't. Should I give you the right answers? No.
Sir, actually you have enabled the view score option. So once
Oh.
we view the score, we are able to see the correct answers.
Or shall I tell you the correct answers from here? Score, where is the score?
Sir, once we submit the form, then there is an option to view the score. If we
Okay.
press that view score, we are able to see the correct answers.
Okay. So it is over. All of you have submitted.
I think most
Not
of them might have submitted.
Okay, then where is it called? Hey, Kareva? Kareva. Where, madam? Where should we go? View? View or view option?
View score. That will be available for the persons who are answering, sir. If you are the owner, then you have to go in the response section.
So shall I? I can't see your answer. Huh?
You can see in the form of Excel sheet, sir.
Okay, okay.
You give the answer, sir, otherwise.
I will give the answer, sir. Okay.
Thank
First question, Vasudhaiva Kutumbam, the answer is D, Maha Upanishad. D. 2, it is Hindi. Hindi is not a classical language. Is not a classical language. Here the question is, which of the following languages does not enjoy classical status? It is C. C. Answer is C. Hindi. Okay. Number 3. Which of the following organizations fought for freedom? It is only Jugantar B. B. Or should I just read out 5D, 6D like that? 4, Patanjali, D. 4D. 5A. 6C. 7D. 8A. 9C. 10C. 11B. 12A. 13C. 14A. 15A. 16D. 17A. 18A. 19B. 20C. 21A. 22C. 23C. 24D. 25C, 26B, 27C, 28C, 29A, 30C. Okay. So how is the performance, madam?
Individual people now they can judge their performance. They will come to know their.
Yeah. So okay, let them judge how much. What is the highest score? Let me know. This is all actually. This is not expected of you. These questions and all. This is a very general because it is values and ethos. No, we had to cull questions from history, medieval history, and all. So now, shall I resume the topic? For another,
Yes, sir.
how much time I'm given? Till 9.
Till 9, sir.
9, I will conclude it within 5 minutes.
Yes, sir.
So again, when we speak about the classroom atmosphere, behavior, and what do you call conduct, or what the teacher is expected to do, we have to inculcate the spirit of critical thinking in the students. Critical thinking, that any discipline we can do critical thinking. Then problem solving. Problem solving is related to their everyday challenges, but critical thinking is also related to their academic endeavor. Then goal setting, I have already explained. Decision making is very important. The decisions which students take at undergraduate level are going to have a longer and deeper impact on their future endeavors. That is also very important, very vital for advancing their careers. And I have also explained that this principle of acceptance is very important. The students must accept the teacher must accept the students with all their merits and demerits, with all their follies, good qualities, extraordinary qualities, their failures, whatever it is. So this principle of acceptance should be held like an article of faith. Then we have to be non-judgmental. Immediately we cannot jump to conclusions, or we cannot jump to we must be non-judgmental. We must be very objective in our assessment of students performance and all. Then knowing their strengths and weaknesses is very important. That I think I have already explained it to you. So this is about the expected behavior of the students, as well as how best we can train them. What are the inputs we can give them? So this is about the teacher-student interaction. This is about the classroom setting. This is about how the atmosphere in a classroom should be. And what are the qualities of a teacher? I have already mentioned, knowledge acquisition, the body language. The teacher must be able to, the teacher must be self-effacing. The teacher must appear unassuming, simple, but at the same time, the teacher should not appear effete. The student should not think that the teacher is incompetent or the teacher is not efficient enough to control them. No, certainly. And the principle of control is always there. Control. We come under different influences. No, they are adults. We don't have to tell them. They know everything. No. If they know everything, why there are courts, why there are police stations, why there is a law? Isn't it? Why adults are committing crimes? Why educated adults are committing crimes? Isn't it? We have a system in place. We have a constitution. We have a law. We have a criminal justice system in place. That means it is assumed that people do wrong things, people commit crimes, and the law is there to correct them. If possible, penalize them, isn't it? So hence, students are no exception. We have to tell them at every point, we have to guide them. Some teachers are, amongst you also, some teachers are very particular about discipline. Some teachers are not, isn't it? Some are not. Some teachers say, in this classroom, in this 1 hour, can we change them? No, some teachers still try to change them. So it depends on individual perception, personalities. So this is all, this is all that I could deliver now, because as I told you in the very beginning itself, the topic is very elastic. It can be stretched to any extent. Now, any questions? Any questions from your side? 10 minutes. Questions? Any one of you?
Participants, if you have any questions, please unmute yourself and ask, or you can put it in the chat box.
Chat box, I think I am not able to find it. You can ask. You can ask.
Okay,
That's
yes.
better. Yeah. One-to-one interaction is always good, no? Chat box is chat box, isn't it? No questions. Should I assume?
Sir,
Yes, madam. Yes, please.
I'm
Madam, your name?
my name is Vasaki, sir. I'm having one a question or a doubt, whatever it can take
Yes.
it that way. You said in the initial of the session, caste is everywhere.
Every-
Whether it is still there, or how can we avoid this discrimination, sir?
Discrimination you can avoid.
You are also a professor, then how can we
Madam, I'll tell you one thing.
Ah.
It seems, one second, Kareva, please come. 1 second, madam. Caste discrimination, you may not find it in classroom. Class distinction will be there, because in a classroom, it is very difficult to find out who belongs to which caste, though it is known to us. In a classroom setting, there might not be any discrimination against a particular caste, unless the teacher is too biased. But it doesn't happen. It doesn't. I think you meant how to wipe out these distinctions, these differences and all, isn't it?
not only in the school background, in the society I'm asking.
Society, madam,
It's
for another
very
100
common.
years. For another 100, I'm giving you, I will give it in writing. For another 100 years, because every day caste discrimination will come down. Hello? What is it?
Hello, sir. We are
It is
not
not
able
clear.
to hear clearly, sir.
Yeah. Madam, I'm just concluding it within one sentence. Caste discrimination can come down, but caste awareness is growing everywhere. Caste awareness is growing everywhere. Okay? Am I clear? Am I clear? In some societies, caste awareness is so high, it has gone to such ridiculous lengths. Hello? Am I audible? Am
Yes,
I
sir.
audible? In Andhra Pradesh, cinema fans are divided on caste lines. Can you believe this? So caste awareness is increasing. Everyone is becoming aware of her or his own caste. Let me go to my caste association. Let me mingle with my caste people. It's an all India phenomenon, except West Bengal, Assam, Odisha, or northeastern part. But rest of the country, caste awareness is going. Attachment to caste is growing. But at the same time, caste discrimination may come down. It is coming down. It is coming down. Higher, lower, this kind of discrimination is coming down. But caste, it is our responsibility to see that it doesn't enter into classroom. It doesn't enter into classroom. You go to Andhra, you will find Chiranjeevi fans different. Mahesh Babu, Junior NTR, all pitted against Chiranjeevi family. So this family belongs to a caste. The rest of the families, they belong to a caste, particular caste. So there is a not cinema fans war like Tamil Nadu and all. It's a caste war in Andhra Pradesh. So that's there. You can't avoid it. It's a very powerful institution. It's a very powerful institution, discriminatory institution. It is very much there, man. You can't avoid it. Okay. Any other question related to this social skills or any life skills or classroom setting or youth, young people? And madam, let me tell you all, the rebellion which some young people display. Say some young people, you may say they are very defiant. You may find them. Some young people are humble. Some are, they adjust, they reconcile to the situation. But the body language of some young people, it irritates you. Is it okay? The body language of some young people may irritate you. Why this fellow is behaving so arrogant? It is not always bad. Their socialization has some deficiency. I can't say a discrepancy or defect, some deficiency. Students unnecessarily tend to be rebellious, like just throwing their head, shrugging their shoulders, their body language. Some students, it is not always bad. We have to convince them. We cannot directly say your bad language, body language, but we can manage that. And all these behavioral patterns cannot be considered as rebellion. A rebellion is something very big. Rebellion is something to do with student activism. So that's a different plane altogether. That's a different branch of study altogether. Luckily, in Tamil Nadu, you don't find student organizations very powerful. You don't find SFI, join AVP, join NSUA like this, isn't it? Even DMK, ADMK also, their student wings are very docile. But in other states, they are very powerful. So that influence, luckily, in Tamil Nadu, you don't have. Not luckily, you don't have it. I should not use the word luckily. Madam, you are all spared of so many problems, of the young people. In other states, there are so many problems with the young people. Now, again, please, any other question? Any question? From our male counterparts, any question? Sir?
Then what about the drug abuse? How you are saying that Arunachal Pradesh is having that?
In Arunachal Pradesh, because mostly what happens is border states or the cities which have high quotient of international trade, they have this problem of drug abuse. Because again, I am telling you, Tamil Nadu value system is different. Tamil Nadu is more or less a traditional, it is still wedded to tradition, Tamil Nadu. But in Arunachal Pradesh, what is happening is, right from the beginning, their social structure is different, right from the beginning. It was always the control over Arunachal Pradesh or other northeastern states is very loose, very loose. The government never interfered. And in Arunachal Pradesh, there are several tribes. Some tribes observe a different set of customs, even superstitions, belief system and all. In their particular tribes, in their domestic domain, in their homes, there's a peculiar practice of preserving dead bodies, and old people going for mercy killing or committing suicides because of lack of treatment, proper treatment if they are affected by, and ultimately that got embedded as a value system. So for a little amount of frustration, people belonging to a particular tribe called Mishmi, they commit suicide. They're young people, they commit suicide, and the families hide that news. And now a lot of research is going on these suicides and all. And general suicide, not getting qualified, not passing an exam, then committing suicide, that depends on the society and the individual concerned. Some weak-minded, weak-willed persons, they take this extreme step. And suicides because of failures is very common all over the country. But suicides because of superstition, because of belief system, it is there. It exists in some parts of the country. So this is drug abuse. Punjab drug abuse is because of Pakistan border. After 1980, Pakistan started smuggling drugs into Punjab is a rich society, and Punjabis are fun-loving, very fun-loving. An average Punjabi, a contract employee all the contract employees who are working with me, who are getting salaries between 25,000 to 40,000, they all had cars except me. Please, my dear friends. I thought these fellows must be very rich. No, normal, average family. They enjoy life. They seek fun in everything, Punjabi culture. And Pakistan saw this, and drugs were smuggled into, and drug became a huge business again. Drug peddling, drug became a huge business. Several politicians are involved in this. And Punjab almost is ruined. Punjab is ruined because the state is very rich. It has substantial NRI population, agrarian state, small state, less population. Still, it is maintaining that preeminent position. Actually, they are very fun-loving. They are very open, very stylish. They are very trendy also. And unfortunately, this drug addiction could easily find a target among the Punjabi young people, Punjabi youth, and they are a victim to this. So it is basically because of political reasons and sharing borders with Pakistan. Because Punjabis are fighters, basically in the Indian army and all, you find a lot of Sikhs and so Pakistan very cleverly targeted this state, and it has a long border with Pakistan. Pakistan did not bother about Rajasthan. It's a poor state. They cannot afford drugs. Rajasthanis or Uttar Pradesh, Bihar cannot afford. Bihar cannot afford even 2 square meals a day. They come all the way to Tamil Nadu to work as laborers. So there is no point in smuggling drugs inside Bihar. Punjab, yes, they could afford. Unfortunately, their prosperity led to drug addiction. So this is about drug addiction in Punjab. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome, madam. You're welcome. So can I conclude? Can I conclude?
Yes, sir.
I am not in a hurry to conclude, but I
Yes, sir. It's 9 o'clock.
So, dear friends, I'm glad that I got an opportunity to interact with you people, but I'm still afraid that whether I was able to do justice to the topic or not, because my perspective is different, my angle is totally different. Whether I'm able to relate it to you, it is still, I'm doubtful about it. I have apprehensions. So it is up to you. You will decide anyway. You will give your feedback form. And once again, I thank all of you for your patient hearing. Vanakkam, ellarkum vanakkam. Okay. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, sir.
And if possible, you can visit Rajiv Gandhi National Institute of Youth Development, Sri Perumbudur. It's a youth development institute. When you have time, you can simply go there and visit. Good people, they are good. They will entertain you. Please visit because this is my institute. Out of my selfish this thing, I'm requesting you to visit that institute. Okay. So thank you very much once again. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, sir.
So now I request
you, sir.
Akshay to give the final vote of thanks. Akshay.
Sure, ma'am. Just before giving the vote of thanks, I would like to elaborate the speaker for the day. So our speaker for the day is Mr. Potu Shekhar. He is a senior functionary, faculty head, Group A, Government of India, in the Rajiv Gandhi National Institute of Youth Development, an institution of national importance, Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports, Government of India, Sri Perumbudur. So presently, he's heading the Northeastern Regional Center of Institute in Arunachal Pradesh since 2021. He also did the Northern Regional Center of the Institute in Chandigarh from the year 2017 to 2021. Before joining the RGNIYD in 2010, Dr. Shekhar was in the Andhra University Training and Orientation Center, National Service Scheme, Center of Study of Social Exclusion and Inclusion Policy from 1995 to 2010. He was a JRF holder and a PhD in social works and has 25 years of experience in the field of youth development. He has organized more than 150 training programs across the country. His publication in a range of fields of various scopes indexed as popular journals and dailies reflect his critical perspectives and deep understanding of the learning concept. Dr. Shekhar's areas of interest include youth, social inclusion, Gandhian studies, and training. With this note, I would like to thank you, sir. Your words were highly thought-provoking. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
You
you.
had covered all the Indian values, ethos, and how to behave in the classroom. The teachers, how they have to handle the students. It was really a very useful session, sir. Thanks
you,
a lot for sparing your time with us. Yeah,
Thank you,
thanks
madam.
a lot.
Namaste. Namaste to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, participants. Feedback attendance link is posted in the chat. Kindly fill.
Madam, shall I close? Shall I close, madam?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. The attendance link will be kept open for 5 to 10 minutes. Kindly fill. Hello, ma'am. Shall we wind up, ma'am?
Ma'am, we'll check for the responses.
Vasuki, ma'am, can you?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Participants can give your feedback and you can leave the Zoom meeting.
Ma'am, 25 responses received.
There are still 20 are there in the Zoom link, I think. Nearly 20. Participants, you can give your feedback and leave the meeting. Another 5 minutes or so, we'll wait, ma'am.
Okay. Okay.
We can turn on the video, turn off the video, and recording also can be stopped, I think.